يقطع
بعد ما يقتلك اروح اقتل ايش لا بارك في الالعاب. لا ما هذه ما تقول الا لو انه اللي معاي هو اللي يقل ادبه اول، ولا انا اكون مسوي ليه ما اللي معاي يقل ادبه.
صح
من يوم ما اشوف عليك حركه، من يوم ما اشوف عليك حركه راح اقل ادب معاك، لا عاد تتوقع منه.
عشان كذا انت كريم ادم مفروض يا اخي، بس هي ضحكتك مره واحده يا رجال.
انت في برو قايل لك كلمه تقول دقيقه تروح ترجع تخش فينا. طب قول لنا انت طيب لا يخش لك حركه تعبانه. قول لي لا بعد يقول لك انا الو جاء ما صار شيء توك جاء
بالمنوب. اوه ماي جاد. ريج بيت برو، ريج بيت بالحقيقه، ريج بيت برو.
شايف يعني بس لا انت في برو حقتك صح. خرج لما حقت برو صح.
بس كذا تقبل عليه يعني، ما اتوقع ان القنبله تساعد.
يا سلام
والله مضرب قنبله.
قنبله يا رجال، ما له قنبله
انا
صرعوا
جتني
فيها
جزمه.
يا اخي هذاك يكره القنابل.
يا اخي قاعد
والله
يرميني في
اسمع،
جزمه بياخذها يرميني فيها لين مت.
لا
ما وصل شيء عادي، ما ادري ايش الشخص اللي
انت
قنبله.
حقك تصرع، انت حقتك تصرع يا راجل يا ابو.
مش قاعد
يا
اضحك يعني معصب تدري اللي قال.
القنبله تونشت، بس هذه ما تونشت، هذه يقعد يطيرك حبه حبه الله يسرعك.
طب ايش بتسوي معه؟
لانه اوكي يعني انا بيطلع شكلي قليل ادب وكني كذا مستحقر، بس انه لانه لعيب.
انت ايش طيب؟
ها
أدب.
انا قليل ادب لاني بيسوي له ريج بيت يا اخي. والله ذي حلاوه اللعبه، تسوي ريج بيت للي ضدك يبدا يتنرفز يصير لعبه خايسه، بعد تطقطق عليه لما تلعب
الحمد
بالنفسيه.
لله اني
اوه
متعود
ماي
اني
جاد.
انجلد، الحمد لله.
هلا
اقول الحمد لله اني متعود انجلد.
ليش السؤال، ليش نص مجتمع برول يكرهني؟ رد علي ليش؟ يا والله ما استوعب، ترى انا مكروه ببروهاله.
شوف حركاتك معي
منطقي جدا منطقي.
حركات اسويها يا رجل، مو حركاتك مع نفسك، الحركات اللي اسويها مع كل اللي هناك يا رجل، استغفر الله العظيم. بس يب كان في جروبين كذا 200 واحد اوكي. والله ما ادري، بس انا ليه ما ادري ليش كنت داخلهم، وكلهم كانوا يكرهوني يا ولد لما العب معهم. والله كان في واحد كان بس يسفل فيني.
الحمد لله.
حبك يا شيخ من حب
يا
ولد
ولد في واحد مجنون، في واحد مجنون وصلت معنا يطلع علي كلام يا رجل. جاء الاسطوره. هلا والله
يا الاسطوره يا هلا يا اسطوره يا اسطوره. لا الاسطوره ما بيتكلم يا شيخ. هلا بالاسطوره، هلا بالاسطوره. عليكم
عليكم
السلام.
السلام.
عليكم السلام ورحمه الله
اوكي
وبركاته.
86 هذا هو القاتل، هذا احسن واحد. ما في اي واو يا شيخ، بس انك احسن واحد.
Are you looking for a creeper?
بعد 86 طبعا صديق الصدوق.
يقطع.
All about the problem. Are you looking for a creeper farm?
86 يا شيخ.
هلا هلا هلا.
Most importantly, are you looking for a creeper
هذا
farm
هو
that doesn't require like a
هذا
million
86 يا شيخ.
trapdoors to build? How you doing, everybody? It's me, Waddles, and today I'm going to show you how to build my brand new green. Today's farm was freshly designed for Minecraft 1.20. It should work
في كل
on
شيء
both Java
عاد انت
and
تفهمها
Bedrock.
بالطريقه
Do me
اللي
a favor,
تبيها.
lads, and smash
لازم
that
تروح
like button.
تراضي الاميره.
Recommend the next tutorial that I should do down below. And let's take a look at
Yeah.
it. To build this creeper farm in exact amounts on top of the chest, you will need 1 chest, 9 hoppers, and so on.
يا
When it
اخي
comes to
انت تشغل الجهاز تفكر في الدراما ولا تفكر في الاستمتاع؟
افكر في اني اسرع واحد يطيب. لا هذا يا رجال.
عجبني تفكيرك.
مين دقيقة
انا ايوه
هلب هو شو اسمه عبد الله صح؟
انا عبد الله عبد الله عبد الله
عبد الله عبد الله عبد الله.
انت
عبد
راعي
الله.
الحلال.
يا ابو راعي الحلال. ايه هو
دقيقة ايش؟
ابغى اشوفك تلعب الباب الاخير.
ترى وريتي ابو داهم وبقول لك شيء، ترى طلعوا مو 3، تدري كم وحده؟
كم؟
4.
ترى شكلهم يتنقلوا كمان 4 ويتنقلوا.
خرع عليهم. اسمع ابو دحم، شغل لعبه وافتح شر.
انتم خلوني اخلص النايت مير بعدين.
خلصت النايت انت؟
لا
مو تقول انك خلصته؟
لا ما قد خلصته.
وش كنت تقول لي اليوم؟
ما ادري عنك، وش سمعت انت مني؟
ما ادري. استغفر الله العظيم يا اخي السالفه دي. بدعم والله ذي ازق سالفه صارت بالسيرفر الى الان.
اي الدراما حقتك.
الدراما حقتكم. والله يأزق شيء صار بالسيرفر.
والله ماني عارف وش
يا اخي بس ما تنسى.
اضحك طيب.
بس اضحك في الام يا رجال.
المفروض رحمة تصير يعني جزء من اللعبة يا اخي. التهاوش هذا شيء من
يا اخي
شوف
حاسب يا
إيش
اخي
ذا يا
البشر
ابني؟
كلهم بيفكروا زيك يا معلم.
هذه فكره بدح.
غير موضوع. شوف الطيارة هذه؟ وين؟
ايوه
الطيارة اللي امس سويتها قبل الحدث.
اي صح الحدث.
وين راحت؟ تقول لي ايه هذه سويتها امس تجهيز للحدث. حلو.
ايوه
حجمها كويس، فيها إنارة عشان المويه. شو اسمه، محركات، هذا يشتغل في المويه هذا يشتغل في الفضاء. بحاسب حساب ومسوي مساحة هنا انه اشيل اشياء كثير. حاط اكبر باط. البيضة حرفيا واحدة تملى المساحة دي.
هي كم بيض؟
في 24 بيضة، في حجم صغير في حجم صغير كذا، وفي واحدة طويلة طول كذا تاخذ ابو حدي اجيب 3. خليني اشوف.
اسمع ليه بتعلق كم واحدة تحت مو فوق المركبة؟
الحين تشوفوا الستيم اوفرلاي.
ايوه ايوه
شو الصورة؟ هذا الرن حقي اللي اليوم جبت 500. جبت 1 2 3 بالصيرات. السيارة تكسرت. مطلوب منك ايش؟ تصور صورة زي كذا تبين فيها البيض.
Because the word has almost lost its meaning. Like, there's women out there who have been, like, brutally sexually assaulted, and their stories are woman who thinks pushing a cliff off into a river is on the same level. Okay, one last one, and then we're gonna move on, because talking about boobs and it just, for the past 15 minutes, it's starting to, like, mess with my mind. So there was a TED Talk about a survivor and the men who did it to her. They teamed up to tell her story by writing a book as well as a TED Talk. And there was a guy on Twitter that kind of summarized it, where he said they're in a relationship, she gets drunk at a party, they go home to her place, they do it, she feels guilty about it, they break up, she wants to meet years later to discuss it, has a husband and kids now, co-writes a book about it, and her perpetrator goes on a TED Talk to promote it. And I didn't believe this at first. I thought maybe, okay, he's like a little bit overgeneralizing it, maybe some incel post or something. And I'm willing to say that it is somewhere in the middle between the two extremes. But that's pretty bad when you're discussing such a serious topic, and the guy on the Twitter thread actually left out the fact that they were actually both drunk. The TED Talk's on YouTube, but I'm gonna play some clips that I thought were kind of weird.
High on my newfound maturity, I felt it was only natural to try drinking rum for the first time that night too. That was a bad idea. I became very ill, drifting in and out of consciousness in between spasms of convulsive vomiting, and the security guards wanted to call me an ambulance. But Tom acted as my knight in shining armor and told them he'd take me home.
So keep that in mind. She was so drunk that she was vomiting, ill, and fading in and out of consciousness, right? She was that drunk. Obviously a person like that can't consent, right? But I'd ask you a question. Can the same person then count every single second for 2 hours, up to 7,200 seconds? Police do a sobriety test where you're supposed to tilt your head back, count in your head for 60 seconds, and then tell them when the 60 seconds is over to see if you're sober enough to actually drive. That's an actual proper sobriety test that the police officers use.
The counting test, again, is very, very simple. You start with a number. They usually start in like the 50s or 60s, like start at 63 and then end at 45. And what they're looking for is, are you going to repeat numbers? Are you going to go 63, 62, 61, 61?
In order to stay sane, I silently counted the seconds on my alarm clock. And ever since that night, I've known that there are 7,200 seconds in 2 hours.
So I don't mean to like disprove or like diminish her story. Okay, for legal reasons, I'm not gonna say that she lied about her story, but I don't think a drunk person can count that much seconds. I can't even do that sober.
Can you count backwards for me, starting with the number 56 to 49?
All right, 56, so 55, 54, 53, 52, 51, 50, 49, 48. You start to one number, I'm sorry, 49? All right, so 50, I'm gonna start back. So 55, 54, 56, 50, 55, 54, 53, 52, 53, 52, 51, 50, and then 49, the number you're on.
So what do you guys think? Do you guys think this woman was drunk or sober? Well, it actually doesn't matter because this woman's claiming that she was about to pass out drunk and somehow counted 7,200 seconds in a row. I'm not saying she lied about what the story is actually about, but I just think that whole I counted every second for 2 hours bit was just a little bit of an over-exaggeration. Maybe to pull the heartstrings of the audience a little bit more. Best case scenario, she did that to pull the audience's heartstrings. Worst case scenario, she just slipped up and said something that proved this guy's innocence. Anyways, she then talks about how she messaged this guy through email and they decided to meet up in South Africa. Ask any woman or even a man that's been brutally sexually assaulted if they would like to meet the person who did it alone in South Africa.
After 8 years of writing, and nearly 16 years after that dire night, I mustered the courage to propose a wild idea. That we'd meet up in person and face our past once and for all.
Iceland and Australia are geographically like this. In the middle of the two is South Africa. And we decided upon the city of Cape Town. And there we met for 1 week.
She has a husband and kid, by the way. How do you explain that to your husband? Hey, honey, I'm leaving you with the kid for a week so I can travel halfway across the world to meet up with a man that I claim that raped me 16 years ago. Well, surprise, surprise, in 2023, her and her husband that I'm assuming she was with while she went to go see this guy got divorced. And she remarried in 2025. I guess it's also important to note that she remarried to a lesbian and I guess is now a lesbian. Anyways, you can watch the entire TED Talk. It's up on YouTube. Just, in my personal opinion, I think they tried to market it and sell it. They use very heavy emotional wording and very vulgar descriptions in order to sell this as truly what it is. Mostly, I think they're doing it to sell the book. But if you end up disagreeing with me on this one, I don't blame you. In all honesty, it is a gray area to touch. I explained my thoughts and why I think it's kind of weird. I want to move on from this. Witches call it spells. Christians call it prayer. Spiritualists call it manifestation. Atheists call it the placebo effect. Scientists call it quantum physics. Everyone's arguing over its name. No one is denying its existence. I don't know what to tell you, man. These are all different things. I can promise you the placebo effect is not quantum physics and prayer is not spells. I know this is kind of an odd switch from the heavy topics we were just talking about to whatever this is. If you call women foids, you're just demonstrating that you've never spoken to one. You do realize the people that use foid unironically, like me, I use it ironically. I just think it's a funny term to meme around with. But the people that use it unironically, they don't care to speak to a woman. You do realize that, right? Like, your insult has no effect on them. Like, it's not even an insult. It's basically a definition. Like, you just gave the definition of an incel to an incel. This would be like, hey, incels, you guys know you're incels, right? Okay, who cares? They own up to it anyways.
Can't turn a hoe into a housewife. Okay, but women are supposed to turn felons, cheaters, and liars into kings?
I have never heard anybody say that. You are the first person to say that sentence, by the way. Like, I've never heard anybody say that.
Why would God equip the average woman to be smarter than men? Do you think it's just for homeschooling their children?
Again, the claim that you made at first, which is that men and women have bell curves, the men's bell curve being wider than the woman's, would not imply that the average woman is smarter than the average man.
Oh, no.
It would line them up exactly.
The curve itself, right? If you actually look at the curves at the top, it's women, the women's curve is taller than the men's curve.
But the IQ of the curve would be on the x-axis, right? That's where you get the extremes. So I think
So are you disputing that on average women are more intelligent than
So if you didn't understand, the bell curve actually shows that on average, men and women have a similar IQ, but it's distributed differently, where women are mostly midwits, giving them an average IQ in the center, but men, although there is a large lump in the center, it's more stretched out. So you also have really stupid men and extremely smart men that then balance out their average, where women don't have that. I'm not arguing that men are smarter than women or that women are smarter than men. I do believe that averages do balance out, but what this graph does tell you is that you're more likely to meet a super genius man than you are a woman, but also more likely to meet a more mentally retarded man than a more mentally retarded woman. But then in the middle, you're also more likely to encounter, on average, a midwit woman than you are a midwit man. But the problem lies in this woman saying that the graph is saying women are more smart than men on average, when that's not true. It shows that the chance of you meeting a woman with over 110 IQ, which is the average IQ in Japan, is significantly, extremely small. Whereas meeting a man with 110 IQ is a little bit below average. But this balances out when you look at the other side of the chart. However, this woman just sees large hump, bigger than man, woman smarter. Like,
a regular night for women is a revolutionary hangout for men. A man will spend 1 hour with a group of women in someone's apartment and be like, oh my god, that was amazing. That was the best night of my life. We gotta do that again. And it's because we all sat around and were honest about one thing.
I don't want to know what that one thing is, but if a man has a revolutionary awakening around a group of women, it's probably because this group of people hang around a lot together, and this group of people hang around a lot together. There's also that stigma that women are having where they're like, oh, when I see a man having a revolutionary idea that I had when I was 12, a philosophical idea that they're having some grand awakening in their mid-20s, I had when I was 8. And that's because you hang around men who have under a 90 IQ.
He really loves his dog. You know what they say, it's a man's best friend. She really loves her cat. She's like a crazy cat lady.
Nobody calls a woman a crazy cat lady unless she's like 30 years old and chronically single with more than 3 cats.
Love my boyfriend. He's my man. I love my girlfriend. She's my girl.
I don't understand this one. That sounds like an issue with women. Some women actually like being called girl by their man. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean there's some kind of issue that feminism needs to solve.
Yeah, I heard his girlfriend is like crazy. I heard her boyfriend beats her. It's like, why wouldn't she pick a better man?
That goes both ways.
Hey, let's go down to any sports bar ever. They have the game on tonight. Oh my god, you're watching that makeover show again? Turn it off. Nobody wants to watch this.
Dude, is this woman just projecting like her shitty life and what the shitty people around her said about her and her relationship and the stuff her ex-boyfriend did onto expectations the world has? It's no surprise that more men sit with their legs spread while more women sit with their legs crossed. Yeah, it's not really a surprise because men have been invited to take up space their whole life while women have been taught to shrink? No, it's because we have balls. Do these women really think that men are spreading their legs on the subway and on the bus and whatnot to purposely piss off women?
My party trick is asking men what work I've had done and just watch them go on about the things I've had done, or even just guess to begin with, just so that I can tell them that they're wrong. And I don't want that to come off as, I've actually never had anything done.
No offense, but that's exactly how you come off as.
I haven't. But like, it's almost like the thing of like, they just think that they know.
Oh. What the fuck? يا حجي يلعن
everything.
So using your conversational skills, you heavily implied that you've gotten something done. And then when somebody guesses, what you had done. That just means that they think they know everything. Oh, dude, guess what I had for breakfast? I don't know, cereal, toast, maybe a donut. Oh man, geez, you just really think you know everything, huh? Like what? What is this? Actually, I haven't had breakfast. Like what?
And I like to like disprove them. Like, no, you don't know anything about this topic. It's okay
What
to
the
admit that.
fuck انت
Okay, the whole thing. We can always tell.
متى هنا سحب علينا قاتل ماينكرافت؟ ايه يا معفن يا خاين، تذكر انك قررت ما تكون عندك حياة وتلعب ماينكرافت. يب that's it. والله ما في حالي اجلس اسولف، ابغى اجلس احرق ماينكرافت الى ما اموت. البيس. فكرة البث مباشر. باي ذا واي فكرة البث مباشر هي الدردشة مع المتابعين. يعني المفروض يكون لك خلق تسولف، ولا منو مهتم للجيم بلا المعفن ذا من جد يلعن يا كلب. انت وياه انتوا شايفين في احد اسولف معاه؟ ما في الا انت وياه يا غبي. يلا الحين اطفي عليكم. يلا يلا. طيب خلصنا المنطقة دي بكرة. ما في فايدة من الشاشة دي يا اخي. بعيد يا اخي بعيد، ما اقدر اقرا البعيد. نايف على زق، اقتل نفسك يا غبي. يا عمي ايش تحديات المتوسط ذي؟ توكل. خسرت يب. يا الله لازم ارجع اسلم مرة ثانية. فوك. لا خلاص سامحني يعني. No way home. انا يلعن. والله لا طفي عليكم البث، انا ابغى اروق لحالي. انا مشترك جديد توي اشترك. think about life. oh man. oh oh man. آه. يا تايب شيفت مان. أجل ليش فاتح بث؟ يلا بطفيه. يلا اشوفك على خير.